Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's first program. Hey, good news. I have seated with me Josh Powell, and I'm Jason Beck, and this is our first ever program of Hey, Good News. Josh, what is good news?
Good news is turning on your TV and actually seeing something that's, going to make you laugh, you want to actually be productive and go out and do something that, doesn't necessarily have to deal with feeling bad. So it's a good thing we got going here. Exactly.
Something for a change that you can leave after watching feeling good. And so that's what we've decided to do. So the next broadcast that you'll see a bunch of people giving you good news instead of bad news. Instead of bad news. I will give you good news, Josh will give you good news, and many other people will give you good news. And hopefully that good news will spread and you'll feel better about yourself, the world, your neighborhood. What else, Josh? I missed something.
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
You'll feel better. It's good news. Hey!
Good news.
Hey! Good news. In a time where many of us could use a hug, organizations centered around love and kindness are popping up all over the globe, and people in our community are reaching out to others. The Random Acts of Kindness Foundation, the Pay It Forward Foundation, the Smile Movement, More Love Letters, the list goes on and on. But it really counts when individuals practice kindness. Some people don't know how to react. One PSTA driver sure didn't know when a man, Ron Schaaf, offered to pay $20 worth of oncoming fares.
One Friday in early fall, Ron walked by his usual bus stop and decided to put his $20 to good use. The bus arrived and he hopped on. Ron said, "Hey, I'm not riding the bus today, but here's $20 to cover people's fares." The bus driver was shocked. He refused the gesture. Ron stated, "I don't really think that it was a system that wasn't set up for it. I think he was just struck."
The PSTA's fare boxes can't take more than a $10 bill. The drivers don't have access to the boxes to make change. They never handle the money. Gestures like this aren't very common. Bob Lasher, the community relations manager, said that in his 8.5 years in the agency, nothing like this has happened. Ron called customer service and wasn't satisfied with the answer he received. He sought guidance on their Facebook page, where he found Bob. He wrote, "Our Director of Transportation is now making sure that drivers are ready to handle any future acts of kindness, hoping that this becomes more common."
Within hours, Ron was told PSTA would be sending out a memo to all of the drivers. They still won't take anything higher than a $10 bill, but if someone wants to pay for oncoming passengers, the driver will allow them to come on without paying. PSTA Communications Manager Cindy Radkin-Schmidt was glad they were able to turn this around for him. Ron has put his 25-year career as a hairstylist on the back burner to pursue a biology degree at SBC, in the hope of one day teaching high school. He sees people every day struggling more than he does. It's for this reason that he makes an effort to help strangers. Anything from giving an umbrella to a stranger in the rain, to paying for an elderly woman's gas, a gesture that the cashier denied.
People see these kinds of things so rarely, they are often dumbstruck. They don't have to be rarities, but random acts of kindness are still diamonds in the rough. Good evening, and thank you for watching. I'm Sean.
And I'm Savannah.
And you've been watching Hey Good News.
Hey folks, good news. We got a magician, and he's from St. Pete. Corey's his name. Corey, what's your last name?
Van Valen, Corey Van Valen.
Corey, where did I meet you?
Down at Bula, right down the road.
Bula Cafe, which is good news for anybody that needs to get a load off their feet and have a nice kava. Bula Cafe. All right, Corey, what do you got?
Let me show you a little bit of sleight of hand. What sleight of hand looks like, you can take a card, make it vanish,
Woo!
bring it back. That's kind of cool.
Yes, that's
But
very
I'll
cool.
tell you, I came across a magician that told me to take it to the next step. So check this out. How does that quote go? It says, now you see it.
No, you don't.
I say now distract you.
Ah!
No, you don't. Those sleeves are needed. But now look, I'm going to try to take it to the next step.
All right, next
I
step.
think they're invisible now. If you could you take them? And then shuffle them up a little bit. And then, yeah, that'll work, as long as you don't drop any.
Oh, okay.
Alright, if you could scan them out, reach in and grab any card. Grab any card.
All right. I'll take that.
Look at the
No,
card.
no.
Oh, not that one.
No.
Look at the card. Show the folks at home the card. Make sure they all see it. Might be hard to see. It's kind of dark out here, but it's invisible.
Yeah.
If you could stick that card back in, face down in the deck.
Face down.
Square it up, and then throw me the box.
All right.
Alright, that's not the trick.
Yeah, the
Okay,
card's
cool.
right.
How do they do that? No, that's where it gets cool now. What was your card? Give me any card.
Oh, it was the 8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. Now, if you notice, I'm taking the cards out of the box. Do you remember? I said to put it face down in the deck, right?
Yeah, there it is. No way.
I gotta ask. Have you ever been a magician before?
No.
Look, what I think a good magician can do is make you a magician. All I need you to do, just stick your finger anywhere on the deck. What was the card you named?
80 diamonds.
Try it one more time. Perfect.
All right, folks,
That was
there it
all
is.
him.
This is Harry Potter stuff going on here.
I think the message behind that, you got a little visualization. You got taking it to the next step,
Right.
trying to stand out somehow.
All right.
And I got a little taste of something I call sleight of foot.
Slide your foot, I love it.
So I showed you guys a little bit of sleight of hand. This is something I like to call sleight of foot. Check this out. Looks a little something like this. We got some cards.
Yeah.
My card will be this card. We got the 7 of hearts.
7 of hearts.
7 of hearts goes underneath your foot, just like this.
Okay.
And if you could, stick your finger anywhere on the deck. Check it out. That's gonna be your card. Show the camera your card. Make sure they all see it. You guys all see it? Throw it back on. Now check this out. I'll give it a quick little look. 9 of diamonds. What was my card?
7 of hearts. Yeah.
Something I call, the hands fastened in the eyes, so are the feet. If you check that out, that's not any card. That's your card.
There's my card.
The 9
it's
of
good.
diamonds.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I got one last thing to show for right now.
All right. Let's see.
This is something brand new. This is something I'm working on. If you could take this, it has to do with something I like to call a little envelope here. If you check it out, this envelope, nice and empty. No trap doors, none of that. You can check it out.
Yep, it's clean.
It's gonna go into my back pocket, and all I need you to do is take out any one of these cards. It's up to you. I like to make a little mess of it. Could give you your best autograph, show the audience, make sure everyone sees the card. I'm not gonna look. Make sure you guys all see it. Yep, give it your best autograph if you could.
Oh, on top of it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Make that card 100% unique.
I'm not playing poker with this one.
Alright, so I'm going to take your card, put it into the deck. Now I'm going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressed would you be if I can get your signed card in that envelope without you seeing?
I would be impressed, Corey.
I'm going to try to take it to the next level. The envelope is now in my hand.
The deck disappeared.
With your signature on there. Not only that, if you check my back pocket now, that's where the entire deck is. Just like that.
Dude, that was impressive.
Something brand new. Whenever I learn something new.
Wow, there you have it, folks. Hey, good news. We got a fantastic magician here. And where do we get to see you, Corey? Well, how can we get you?
You can find me out in downtown St. Pete on the weekends. You can find me in downtown Tampa on Thursday nights. And hopefully, if you're lucky, you'll see me at the gas station or somewhere around town.
There you go. Hey, good news. St. Pete's poppin'. Magicians.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Life seems to be more and more like sitting in a bar in the early afternoon. Most people are tuned out and quietly despondent, staring at the small quadrant of life that exists between their peripheries. It would seem that speaking too much about anything besides the social lobotomy of sports is like playing Steely Dan in a smoky dive. Half the people will hate you instantly, a third or less might tell you that they dig it, and the rest are too busy staring at their coasters to notice. I ponder endlessly about whether life should naturally go from rock to jazz or the other way around. Should we progress from sonic sensations of sound to the smooth undulations of rhythm that blends into the cigarette smoke of middle life? Should we start out velvety and let life just start vibrating enough to cause distortion? As we go reeling in the years from Hey 19 to the pessimistic resignation of the Deacon Blues with a scotch in one hand and a wheel in the other, we might realize that there's a world of room for failure, recreation, and evolution. There are as many pina coladas and sets of bad sneakers as there are sets of eyes to silently judge them. But hey, good news. No matter what you do, half the people might hate you. Make it worth the blind, anonymous caloric burn of rage from people that don't yet know whether they want guitars or saxophones blaring as they walk into a room. I'll let you be in my dreams if I can be in yours. Bob Dylan said that. Don't drink so much water, you'll get a cramp. My mother said that. I know from practice that it's hard to speak with tongue always in cheek, but sometimes the truth leaks. If we always strive to be creative and unusual, even our failures will provide a decent soundtrack to get our back. If you're unsure, then leave your jukebox quarters at the door, and don't hate the dance floor. I said that.
Good evening and welcome to Interview on the Blue Couch. We call it that because the couch is blue and I'm interviewing someone. And I'm interviewing tonight James from D'Annunzio Pizza. James, do you own D'Annunzio's Pizza?
I do, in fact.
And what is your last name?
D'Annunzio.
Ah, that was...
We thought it was a good name for an Italian pizza place, hence that's why we kept my name. But upon further review, we realized people can't pronounce it.
Yes.
And it's too difficult, so we should have called it Ray's Pizza.
Ray's Pizza, yes, that was very true, because for weeks I did not order because I was embarrassed to ask someone to order from D'Annunzio's, which is easy to say, which you've said it a couple times, but the first time for me was very difficult, so I avoided it.
But now you're part of the clique, and
I'm
now
part of the
everybody
clique.
wants to be in. They want to
Yes.
be able to pronounce D'Annunzio's. It's like Aeropostale.
Ah, yes.
That's why
Good
they
point.
got
So maybe
famous.
that was the right name then, James. Maybe that was.
Possibly. We will tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell. He's brand new. He's on
4th Street,
4th
27th
Street.
Avenue, across from the Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. So, if you're at Trader Joe's, no, before you go into Trader Joe's, you should get a pizza so you don't buy too much food. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're probably overpriced. Not that I've ever been in one.
But if you're hungry, I'm saying they say you should eat before you go in the shop, because
Oh,
if you're too hungry,
absolutely.
then you'll go to D'Annunzio's first. Get a small or a large.
Large.
Get a
the more
large-
the better.
more-
Get an extra large. Full
Do they have
price.
those? How
They
big
do.
is the extra?
16 inches.
What do I get when I get a large?
14 inches.
So you get 2 more inches.
You could get a 20 inch if you want.
You have a
And if
20?
you really calculate it out into to how many pi inches there are, the
How
numbers
big?
are big for 2 inches.
Let's just get to the bottom line. How big a pizza could I get from D'Annunzio's?
20 inches.
20 inches.
It's so big.
What if I wanted a 22 inches? Is there any way they would do that? Let's call it now and ask and see what happens. That would be great fun. All right, we're calling D'Annunzio's right now for a 22-inch pizza. This is good, huh?
Oh god.
We're sitting with the owner here. Will's gonna see what happens. Now this is exciting stuff, right? I'm excited.
I'm excited that you have my number in your phone.
Oh,
saved.
touche. Which I put it under pizza because I couldn't pronounce
77-896-3278.
D'Annunzio's.
What's that number?
77-896-3278. Remember it.
3278.
896 fast. 896 fast. 896 fast.
All right, quiet in the house.
Should put it on speaker.
Put it on speaker.
Hey, Chloe, I got a quick question. It's for the future for me. I'm doing a part. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. What's that question?
The question is, is it possible to get a 22-inch pizza if I wanted a big pizza for like a party?
You say you want a 20-inch pizza?
No, a 22-inch pizza. Or I'd like to have as big as you can make it. How big a pizza could you make?
Our biggest is the 20-inch, but let me see if they can make it a little bit bigger for you, okay?
All right, that'd be cool.
I love my staff. Maybe we could make a 24-inch pizza.
We'll soon find out.
I know how big the metal things I make the pizzas are. They're 22 inches.
Then you're on the speakers again.
You still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Our biggest is 20 because that's the biggest size box we can.
Ah, you got to cover it up. All right. Well, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. I appreciate it.
You have a great night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I didn't.
Oh my God, do you train those people? That was excellent.
Yeah.
Folks, you got to go to D'Annunzio's. Look at that. They handled the problem. She wasn't mean. I could have been prank calling. Wait, it was prank calling.
Yeah, we were prank
We were
calling.
prank calling. And her boss was there, and she handled that very professional. She came up with a reason why I couldn't have a big pizza, which is perfect. That makes sense. So we need bigger boxes.
Yeah, we do need
What
bigger
What if
boxes.
you brought a
Think
box
about it.
there?
Yeah, call her back. You go,
Poor girl.
what if I brought my own box?
I've got a 24-inch box. Can we go with the pizza? Is it a go? That's great. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
It was a
You've been
pleasure.
wonderful. I love prank phone calling, and you let me do that. And you're cool for that. Buy at D'Annunzio's before you go into Trader Joe's. It's a quick trip across the street, and you'll make a lot of people happy because it's a privately owned mom and pop business.
Highest
Hey, good news.
Good news, we're the highest rated pizza in St. Pete.
Woo! Oh! Welcome to another segment of Hey Good News. Today we're talking about facing your fears, and Mandy here just faced her fears at a local cafe in St. Pete called Bula Cafe. It's on 5th Avenue North, and they had a firewalk. So, is that true, Mandy? Is that all true? Did that happen?
That is true. There was a firewalk at the Bula anniversary party.
Right. How many years have they been running this cafe?
4 years.
4 years.
This is my favorite place in St. Pete to go. It's
Bula
a great
Cafe.
place, Bula Cafe, great place for open-minded and friendly people to gather.
Very cool, very cool. And fire. So how did the fire thing go? What was that all about?
Well, a local group called Hearts on Fire was invited to participate in the celebration.
Okay.
And they built basically a bed of fire. We all placed wood onto the fire, and when it burnt down to embers, we walked across this fire barefoot.
Whoa. So what's the point of this firewalk? I mean, what, to just burn your feet? Is that the point? Was there an ambulance on site?
There was not an ambulance on site. The point of walking across fire is personal. It's different. It's a little bit different for each person, but it's mainly about facing your fears.
Facing your fears.
Knowing that you can do it. It can be about building community.
So that's what, like, I was there also, folks, and I saw, I wasn't really that interested initially. I don't know why, maybe because I don't have that fear, but I guess I should. But there was a circle of people around the fire. So what was that all about? Initially.
That was about getting the group together and getting in the right state of mind for what we were about to do. Though nobody burnt themselves really bad that night, people have burnt themselves fire walking. It certainly can happen. You're walking on very hot embers.
Coals. So some of the people probably were scared. Were you scared?
I was scared.
You were scared?
Yeah, I was a little bit scared.
And what made you not scared to do it?
I saw several people do it before me and not be harmed. I really liked the lady that was speaking, Maria Nomikos. She's one of the members of the group, and she did have a lot to say about facing your fears and just going through with it.
So this is like what do they call that? This is like for some other fears you have. This is like if you can face this fear, then you can face other fears. It's like what's the word? I can't think of it right now. But
Exactly, Jason. It's a transformative process.
Okay.
If you face this fear, then it builds your confidence. And what are you gonna do next?
Yeah, you just firewalked. Now you can go get that job.
Exactly. If I can walk across fire, I can certainly get through an interview.
Of course, you probably have to be in a wheelchair because your feet are burned. Well,
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah.
Otherwise, I might not be that confident.
So you go up to the fire, you place your foot on the coal bed, and what happened?
You walk on across.
Screamed. No.
I didn't scream. I made it to the other side. I was a little off balance at first, and my first step, my foot got a little hot. And then
you got hot foot.
And then I walked quickly across the fire. And on the other side, one of the ladies was right there with a big hug for me.
And what did you feel when you came off of the fire?
I felt exhilarated. I felt
so it works.
relieved, but very pumped up, very excited.
That's cool. So I get it. So you accomplish something that you should normally be afraid of, like fire. And you walk across it. You get the exhilaration. So the idea now is to go next to the next sphere, and you get the same exhilaration again, maybe, right?
Exactly.
Fire walking.
It's really exciting for me to see a group of people here in St. Pete that are into this. They also do sweat lodges, and a few other things. I saw some people breaking arrows against the tender part of their neck. I didn't participate in that, but it looked pretty cool.
As well, you should. That sounds dangerous.
I did used to participate in sweat lodges several years ago when I knew people that were doing that in Ohio, and that was very spiritual
like
for me.
Like a bonding thing too. Like
Very definitely bonded with the people I was in there with. It gets so hot inside there that you think you just can't take it. It's sort of the same thing in theory.
So there's all physical discomforts of that, and then when you get through it, then you realize that you can get through that. You can get through other discomfort. And
that's actually even more challenging than the fire walk, believe it or not. You're not walking on fire or anything, but sitting through that for 3 or 4 hours. It's so hot you feel like you're breathing in fire.
So if somebody else wants to do this, what are they supposed to do? Is this group all over the place? You got some information there, right?
I do. I have a website. It's myfirewalk.com.
Myfirewalk.com. All right, folks. Thank you, Manny, for walking fire. Thank you for listening. If you want to walk fire and face some of your fears, you can face some of your other fears. go to myfirewalk.com. Hey, good news.
So, you're in the bathroom and you see some stupid poem on the wall that someone just wrote with a Sharpie that they found in their pocket, and you're like, oh great, someone thinks they're a poet, you know, way to go them, whatever. You leave, you probably don't think about it again for the rest of your life. But what if, what that little writing on the wall was one of the most important things that has ever happened in the universe? See, most of the universe is just this chaotic, it's dark energy. About 60% of the universe is dark energy. And so we don't really know what it is, super common. So if you opened up, you know, a pack of Pokemon cards, that would be the common card. Uncommon card would be dark matter. It makes up about 20-30%. Rare card would be finding like a hydrogen atom. Pretty rare, but not uncommon. It's mostly just gaseous stuff. And then, you know, even rarer than that is solid stuff that is not hydrogen. Any solid matter that's not hydrogen, incredibly rare, less than 1,000th of a percent of what the universe actually is. So, if you were to open up a pack of Pokemon cards to find a Babe Ruth card, that would be pretty much what solid matter is. Now, conscious life is so rare, we can't even begin to put a number on it because we have no idea how common it is. We just know it's probably not happened a lot of times compared to the size of the universe. So if you were to open up a pack of Pokemon cards and a unicorn popped out, that would be about how rare conscious life is. So anything that unicorn would do would probably blow your mind. That unicorn shitting on the ground would be super important to you and probably to science and everything on Earth. That unicorn just shit on the ground, even though it's really probably not that different from horse shit. No one really cares about horse shit. But as far as large scale looking at the universe, that person's writing on the wall is so rare because it came from someone that was conscious and thinking. No matter what they were thinking, the fact that they were able to think is just so rare, and I would argue thus it's important. It should be paid attention to because of that. So next time you're in the bathroom and you're looking on the wall, think this was made by someone who exists, and that's important. So hey, good news. That writing on the wall is as rare and important as unicorn shit.
There you go, that's good. Alright, so that was our show. Hey, good news. We hope you watch again. This is a weekly podcast. It's going to come on again and again and again with nothing but good news coming at you 100 miles an hour. You're going to have so much good news, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to have any room for the negative news. So hey, watch our show. Good news.